Those are the words of Erik ten Hag. The referee is Paul Tierney. He blows his whistle and the players take a knee. As you'll probably know, this is only happening sporadically this season to try and increase the impact. There is applause for it. And there's the whistle. And that whistle means that Erik ten Hag's time as the Manchester United manager begins in his first competitive game, and that's a poor clearance by Dalot and a shot by Trossard, left side of the penalty area, flashes wide of the goal and into the outside netting, and that was almost a nightmare start.
And just as Dalot received that ball, he thought he had more time than he did. He got closed down, and as that ball was blocked, I looked at the manager ten Hag. He didn't flinch. His hands were behind his back. He didn't flinch, even when the shot came in from McAllister, I think it was. Didn't move at all.
So Manchester United with a goal kick that is taken out from the Stretford end. Red shirts with these curious white collars this season. White shorts and black socks, and Brighton in their home colours as well. The blue and white striped shirts, white shorts and white socks. And is it a false nine?
It is. It is a false nine. I can see Eriksen just floating in and around the sort of centre halves at the moment, doing what he wants, going where he wants.
Well, that is the most interesting development so far in the managerial career at Manchester United of Erik ten Hag. Cristiano Ronaldo, only a substitute, although not able to play really much of a part at all in pre-season. He's on the bench, and false nines, I think, possibly on the field. Eriksen maybe, and Bruno Fernandes. As the ball's played over the top, Fernandes is after this, but Dunk is able to deal with that, actually plays it into Fernandes, and it bounces away through for a goal kick to the visitors, to Brighton and Hove Albion. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on. I think Eriksen might start in that false nine. Bruno will mix it up with him as well. On that occasion, it was Scott McTominay that was going through past Eriksen in that number 9 position. So as long as that position's filled, I think he'll be happy.
Yeah, I can say now my intelligence on that came from the one and only Jan Molby.
Yes.
And Jan's never wrong. So it's a goal kick to Brighton. Manchester United with De Gea in goal. A back four of Dalot, Maguire, Lisandro Martinez, the Argentine international, signed from Ajax. Ajax's player of the season for Ten Hag last season. Luke Shaw at left back. He's had illness, but he's recovered from that. Then in midfield, McTominay and Fred, Sancho and Rashford in the wide positions, and Bruno Fernandes and the other debutant, Christian Eriksen, as the false number 9. And Brighton with Sanchez in goal, Veltman, Webster, Captain Dunk and March, Gross and Caicedo, McAllister, Lallana, Trossard and Danny Welbeck, the former Manchester United man, through the middle. Their line-up for this game. Manchester United 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. It's almost 10 years now since Manchester United last won the Premier League title. This is yet another new beginning for them, now under the management of this 52-year-old, shaven-headed, serious-faced Dutchman, Erik ten Hag, who is down there on the edge of the coaching area already sending signals out there as Manchester United play to Rashford on the left-hand side, cuts infield onto his right foot, plays a little ball across the edge of the penalty area, but Caicedo was able to cut that out. Sancho was the intended target. He was also a bit of a doubt for this game. Sancho, big season for him as well. Dion, 3 goals pre-season. When it doesn't matter, now it matters.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping he gives us everything we expect of him, and Marcus Rashford as well. 2 very, very talented young men.
Here is Trossard on the left-hand side. Always like watching Trossard. He's an important part of this Brighton team. And then they're all over that. Lallana playing it forward down the left-hand side. That's for the run of Solly March. And then down goes Harry Maguire. And that is a free kick conceded by Gross. So a free kick to Manchester United. Big season for Harry Maguire. Big season. I mean, you could run through the.
Yes, it's a big season for a few.
But I think particularly for Maguire, World Cup season.
Yeah, he's had a difficult year or so, but I don't think he's the kind of character that's going to go under. I really don't.
No, I agree.
He's the kind of player that's going to attack it, and he comes out and he does the post-match interviews, and he's strong and he's honest, and I think he's got big shoulders, big broad shoulders.
He's had to deal with a lot, we know that. There's social media abuse information that came out this week. Balls played for, that was an offside. And we see the quick flag. They say we're going to see the quick flags if the assistants are certain they've been told to flag offside. That was offside.
At last. That's all we want to see.
Yeah.
It's only a little bit of the old school back, and that's a good thing in my opinion. That'll do for me, one of the oldies.
So if the assistant's certain, and that was a clear call, or alternatively if the ball goes wide, if it's through the middle, it still will be delayed, because there is the possibility, of course, of the ball ending up in the back of the net. Manchester United 0, Brighton 0. This is Five Live's Premier League Sunday. Play also underway, by the way, at Leicester Brentford, kicking off at 2 o'clock as well this afternoon. We've got commentary on that as well on Sports Extra right now, and then later we will have commentary on the 4:30 kick-off between West Ham and the defending champions Manchester City, so you will hear that in full as well. Bright sunshine here, beautiful afternoon, as Manchester United play up towards the halfway line, still in possession, and back it goes from Fred to the defensive debutant Lisandro Martinez, who certainly is not the tallest for a central defender. Here's Sancho now on the right hand side. Sancho up against Trossard, stabs it through into the penalty area. McTominay with a shot across goal, deflected, and then Fernandes 16 yards out, tried to ping it, as they say, but got underneath it and sent it by 3 or 4 yards over the top.
And if you wanted to drop to anybody in there, it's Bruno Fernandes. He's what is he? I don't know. He's 14 yards out, 15 yards out. All he has to do is just side foot it into one of the corners. The keeper's committed already. And I'm looking at the replay now. I'm seeing 5 red shirts in there. Positivity from United. Scott McTominay's shot was blocked, sort of rolled towards the penalty spot area, and Bruno went with his laces, just trying to curl it in. Should have gone with a side foot, more precision, no power needed.
Good movement though from McTominay.
Great movement, yeah, absolutely. I said that he's gone beyond Eriksen a few times in that false 9 area, and you could get in there. He's got the energy.
Manchester United 0, Brighton 0, and United with Fernandes on the left-hand side. Brighton, this attack is snuffed out, and now Harry Maguire takes up possession, and Harry Maguire starts from the edge of his own penalty area, takes the ball into the opposition half, gives it to the left-hand side. Luke Shaw's going to have a wander forward as well. Shaw looking to recapture his best form this season with the World Cup just a couple of months away. And then the ball is cleared into him and out of play by Veltman for a goal kick for Brighton. Yep, Luke Shaw, he's another one on the far side. Just seems strange, doesn't it, to be sitting here in August and saying the World Cup's just a matter of months away, which it is. So that will be plonked almost in the middle of this season. You will hear all of that with us live from Qatar when the Premier League takes its pause, as they're calling it, for 6 weeks in November and December. But here in the Premier League, 0-0, and the big news so far under Erik ten Hag, Cristiano Ronaldo only a substitute, and he's playing with a false 9 in Christian Eriksen, making his debut, the Danish international, at the age of 30 after his season at Brentford. Here he is now in, when you think about it, with Christian Eriksen, if things work out for him here. Oh, as the ball's given away by Fred, Trossard left side of the box, tries to cross it, but a crucial sliding block for Manchester United from the man who gave it away. In fact, it was blocked by Fred, who gave the ball away, but then redeemed himself with that challenge on Trossard to block the effort. Yeah, you can't be stopping there. If you are going to play out from the back, you have to make sure that if that ball's going to be rolled into the midfield player, has one touch, and it's got to be a good touch as well. It was on Fred's wrong foot as well, so it was always going to be awkward, but he made up for it. Well, that's twice now. Yeah. Dalot. Lucky. Dalot and Fred. Lucky so far. That's Dion Dublin, England international, Premier League Golden Boot winner, Manchester United man. Or at least part of your career as a Manchester United man. Yes. Yeah. United with it. Here's Maguire in the centre circle, forward to Fred, then further forward through the middle to Rashford. Now on the left-hand side, Bruno Fernandes out towards that flank. Brighton are able to clear it away over there through Gross. United get it back though, and little passes. as United play from left to right in the first half towards the east stand. Dalot now just outside the box near the right corner. United supporters wanted him to deliver that into the penalty area, but with a false 9, there's no natural target man in there.
No, just that little bit of a delay. His first touch wasn't good. He was sort of corner of the box. If he could have just got a good first touch and crossed it, would have had a lot of red shirts to aim at. I think the key today, from what I've seen in the early few minutes, is width. Man United have to use the width. Brighton are very narrow, very narrow.
United with it inside their own half, and here is Lisandro Martinez. Erik ten Hag said at Ajax he gave everything in every game. Described him as a warrior. In South America, where they absolutely love a nickname for their footballers, Lisandro Martinez was known as the Butcher. So
what a great nickname that is.
Yeah, I think that's a throwback for you.
It is.
Yeah,
it was a different meaning back in the day, though.
Yes, yeah. Ball out of play. That's a foul, actually, on Adam Lallana, the former Liverpool man. A few of the United regulars enjoyed that foul on the veteran Lallana, 34 years old now. I think he's looking to, with perhaps an eye on the media. He joined us for a match at Southampton at the end of last season when Liverpool were there. Very much enjoyed his company, but still a Premier League player, and here he is playing at Old Trafford, and at the age as he is of 34, maybe there won't be too many more opportunities like this for him. Ball goes back to goalkeeper Sanchez. I remember seeing him play here for Rochdale in the League Cup when it went to a penalty shootout. Fred, deep inside his own half, stabs the ball out of play, and it bounces over the hoardings. And we have got the new multi-ball system in operation this season, but it is a ball boy who rescues the ball and gives it back to Brighton to take this throw down the right-hand side, halfway inside the Manchester United half. 0-0 here at Old Trafford, still 0-0 between Leicester City and Brentford. Listen to that on Sports Extra with Pete Mullenstein and Stephen Kelly, the commentary team. United win a free kick halfway inside their own half, and Fred will just retrieve that bouncing ball and pass it along the back line. McTominay drops deep and takes possession. It looked as though it was going to Maguire, but McTominay took charge, but then dwelt on the ball, and Adam Lallana very nearly won it back from him. Maguire, though, with the ball at his feet, Harry Maguire, he takes the ball a couple of steps forward and then plays it out to the left-hand side, where Shaw takes it down on the top of his left thigh. Bruno Fernandes now still inside his own half, looking to recover his excellent goal-scoring form in the early seasons for Bruno Fernandes as the Manchester United player. And then in comes the challenge, which puts it out of play for a throw-in to Brighton over there on the far side. So Brighton with this throw, they're in absolutely no hurry here, and Veltman will take this long down the line. That is for Welbeck to chase after it. Ball still in play down there in the United left-back area. It is half cleared by Shaw to Fernandes, but Brighton have got it back. Low ball across the edge of the penalty area. Then it comes back to the edge of the box to Welbeck, who hits the shot left-footed, but that was blocked at source by Harry Maguire. Ball comes to the left-hand side, but Caicedo can't reach that, and it runs out of play for a throw into Manchester United. 0-0.
Yeah, they're just taking a little bit too long on the ball, United. Trying to play out from the back. If you're playing out from the back, you have to do it at pace. You have to beat the press with good football. They're just taking too many touches, and Brighton, 3 or 4 times now they've nicked it off a Man United toe.
So throwing for United down near the tunnel, which is fully reined in at the moment, and referee Paul Tierney blocked Solly March there, really caught him as well. Did you see that?
It's like a basketball block.
Bounced off him. and March is actually saying to Paul Tierney, the referee, do you mind? Or words to that effect. And Brighton have a throw on the far side, which is taken back into their own half. So Brighton playing with Adam Lallana in the number 10 role, if you like. McAllister playing quite deep. Caicedo on the left-hand side of that central area. Here is Lallana heading it forward through the middle towards Danny Welbeck, and then the ball is played through to Welbeck, right side of the penalty area. It was missed by Martinez. Welbeck struggled to keep his feet actually for a moment in there, just stumbled or slipped at the crucial moment, and United were able to clear, but very nearly a costly slip this time by the debutant Martinez.
Yeah, lucky as well, United again. Lovely run from Danny Welbeck just off the inside of the debutant, and there was 3 or 4 blue and white shirts flying in there. Good job, he lost his feet.
Love the Brighton movement again when it clicks.
It's great to watch.
Oh, it is terrific to watch. And here they are again with Solly March, who's appeared on the right hand side. And you never quite know, do you, with Graham Potter's side, when the lineup is named, you can have a stab at it, but very often there's something in there that you don't expect.
There is, but there's always a lot of quality in there. Always a lot of footballing quality, and they have that today.
Throw into March inside the penalty area, half cleared. It's drilled back in by Gross to the edge of the box. Manchester United get it away. They're going to make a visit to Leicester very shortly. In fact, the ball's out of play now on the far side. So come in, Pat Murphy.
It's Leicester 0, Brentford 0 here. Action at either end. Early touch, an important one for the keeper Ward, replacing Schmeichel from a shot from Mbuemo, and me at the other end. A great tackle on Vardy in the penalty area. Perfectly judged on his debut for Brentford. Leicester 0, Brentford 0, John.
Yes, I watched his former partner James Tarkowski at Burnley playing yesterday. Looked a real steadying influence for Everton. Tarkowski, I think it's a shrewd signing by Brentford. 1 or 2 shrewd signings actually by them this season. But 0-0 there. You can hear that on 5 Sports Extra. It finished Hibs 1, Hearts 1 in the Edinburgh derby with that late equaliser. I'm sure we'll have some reaction from there. Martin Boyle scoring that very late goal to make it 1-1 in Edinburgh. If it's anything like this in Edinburgh today, it'll be a great place to be. Throwing to Brighton. Likewise, Brighton, of course. Long ball from the back by Dunk, but Maguire's underneath that to head it to his left. Martinez, they enjoyed that. Little dummy, sold Lallana all over the place and just dragged it away from him. United still with it at the back. Dalot knocks it back into the penalty area to goalkeeper De Gea, and David De Gea delaying and eventually under pressure plays the ball out of play for a throw to Brighton.
Yeah, he did have a couple of options, to be fair. The ball back to him was slow, so I'm expecting him to clear it, but he's got to play that a bit quicker.
Brighton playing the ball into the box, looking for Welbeck, but Maguire comes across, heads it away. It's nodded back in there. Lallana takes it down, lovely chest and volley into the box. March then knocks it back out towards the right hand side. Still Brighton putting the pressure on. March can't reach that ball that was played through to him. It was overhit by Gross and runs through for a goal kick to Manchester United. 0-0. 17 minutes played of the Eric Ten Hag era, Dion.
Yeah, and it's okay. Haven't seen major changes as yet, apart from the false 9 situation. There's definitely more energy in the side. They are looking a little bit more comfortable at the back. Can't take too many chances because Brighton will not step off the gas when they're squeezing, so a little bit more care for Manchester United.
Yes, I call it an era. I suppose from a Manchester United point of view, that is the hope. A number of his predecessors haven't really been in charge long enough to call it an era. Here is Trossard on the left-hand side. Now Caicedo stabs it forward, but that's blocked by Manchester United. McTominay will bring it forward, but then he stumbles over, and Brighton have got it back. Trossard now hits the ball into the chest of Welbeck, comes out to Gross, he hits the shot, that's blocked. Caicedo, that might have been a foul on McTominay, but Manchester United are actually away on the counter-attack. The ball's played through the middle to Sancho. Sancho just keeps it, moves it out towards the left-hand side. And Manchester United now right-footed ball over the top. Fernandes there on the edge of the box, chests that down, turns and faces the play, curls the ball across the 6-yard box, but no one in a red shirt anywhere near getting to that, and it's through and away for a goal kick.
It's amazing how on the left-hand side, I mean, Eriksen's gone from the false line over to that left-wing area where you expect to see Luke Shaw, and Bruno Fernandes has to sprint from the middle of the pitch to a right-wing area to give them any kind of width whatsoever. We don't really want him out there, but that's how narrow Man United are playing, because they're kind of mirroring Brighton at the moment. Everything's played through that central channel and there's no wide width at all. That's the way to get in behind this Brighton side.
And as we speak now, United with the false 9, it's Bruno Fernandes who's there as the middleman of the front 3, Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right, and it's Eriksen who's now in a much deeper role. So you've got Fred in front of the defence, then Eriksen and McTominay ahead of him, and then that front 3. So I think being flexible.
Yeah, that's that rotation of a certain amount of players there. I think Sancho, Rashford, Bruno, maybe Scott McTominay to a certain degree as well.
And let's not forget that little bit of skill we saw in the midst of the last Brighton attack from Adam Lallana. That was lovely, a chest down and a volley through.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
No, he's got a lovely touch, hasn't he? Manchester United 0, Brighton 0. Here's Caicedo on the left-hand side. Caicedo right-footed ball in, well back with the header, but Shaw did enough actually. Just came across as he was looking to head that and headed it well beyond the far post. But he puts up an arm of acknowledgement out to Caicedo for the ball in. So Manchester United 0. Brighton and Hove Albion 0 here in the sunshine in the northwest of England. In the East Midlands, Pat Murphy, what's happening?
It's 0-0 Leicester Brentford, John. Two good chances at either end. First of all, Ivan Toney should have done better. He lost his marker. His first touch wasn't tight enough, and Danny Ward made a very good, brave, sprawling save. Ward replacing the long-serving Schmeichel. That'll go down well with the home fans. At the other end just now, diving header by Maddison from a delicious chip from Tielemans, just wide. It's a good open game. It's Leicester 0, Brentford 0.
Manchester United 0, Brighton 0, and United winning a free kick for a foul on Luke Shaw by Gross over there on the far side. Must be strange for anyone watching Leicester today without Kasper Schmeichel involved, as United come forward down the left-hand side, and it is slipped forward to Rashford. Rashford now in the full-back position. There are three men in the middle for Manchester United, but Rashford is dispossessed by Veltman, and then Veltman turns onto his left foot and clears it, but that got a touch off Rashford, and Fernandes now with the cross, but Dunk was in position in the middle there, headed away, comes out to Fred, who wanted him to shoot. Remember, he scored the first goal of the Ralph Rangnick not quite era in charge of Manchester United. Fred, when they won here in the autumn against Crystal Palace. There was great hope about what might happen under Ralph Rangnick, and indeed what role he might be playing now, but there was no consultant's role in the end,
and rightly so. Didn't work with him in place. It's not going to work with him partly being in place.
Nope.
So move on, let's get the right man in.
Yep, so
let's hope this is it.
Yep, so he's now off into international management with Austria. Ball over the top from the deep-lying Ericsson, but he's overhit that, and it will just dribble away through for a goal kick. So Manchester United 0, Brighton 0 on this first weekend of this new Premier League season. I hope you've been enjoying it with us on 5 Live. I know you have, Dion, at various points, whether it was with Darren on Friday night, yes, or whatever it happens to be. But this season, if you haven't heard, every 5:30 Saturday kickoff is a 5 Live commentary this season, as well as the Saturday 3 o'clock, and of course all day, all afternoon Premier League football on a Sunday on 5 Live Premier League Sunday, as the name suggests. Here's Lallana through the middle to the edge of the penalty area, gives it to March. March still on that right hand side with the green boots, lays it back, in comes the cross, but that's headed up and away by Martinez. Still Brighton in the blue and white stripes, playing it forward. Webster having come up from the back, and now here's Trossard on the left hand side, who's had a couple of half chances after the ball's been given away, but Dunk in the centre circle has Ericsson closest to him, Christian Eriksen, so actually knocks the ball all the way back to the man all in yellow, sunshine yellow, Robert Sanchez, the goalkeeper. Long from him downfield. Dalot very nearly misjudged that, fell as he headed it out to the left hand side. So Trossard is in possession. Trossard now to Caicedo on the edge of the box. Caicedo, a little shuffle into the penalty area, back to Trossard. Trossard in the full back position. Caicedo is still there as well. He's into the box on the left hand side, one way then the other. Now gives it to Trossard, back to Caicedo again. He curls the ball in, well back, looking for the header, blocked by Martinez. Brighton with it on the edge of the penalty area. A foul on Rashford. United take a quick free kick. Rashford plays it away after getting quickly to his feet. Sancho then hits a crossfield pass. Fernandes is onto that. Ericsson making the run. Ericsson receives it. Left side of the area, shoots, but straight at Sanchez, the goalkeeper, who is able to pat it down quite comfortably.
Yeah, pretty tame in the end. Good pace though. Marcus Rashford, hand on from Bruno. Play to Rashford. Rashford picked out, I think it was Dalot. Dalot pings it across, and the break's on. Everything's down the middle though. There's no width again. 2 runs were the same. End product was poor. You've got to do more. Brighton don't often give you too many chances to score goals. Got to take those chances.
Thought that was for a moment or so going to be a dream start for Ericsson. Ball forward for Welbeck, but the offside flag is up against the Brighton number 18, the Manchester lad from the long sight area of the city originally. Danny Welbeck, popular man in the game, isn't he, Dion?
Very popular, yeah. He plays the game in the right way. He's always got a smile on his face. He's just been caught offside here, and he's still smiling, chatting to David De Gea.
Ball out of play for a throw into Manchester United on the far side. Manchester United 0, Brighton 0, still 0-0 between Leicester and Brentford. 20 minutes of the first half to go, and United watched by the usual 70-odd thousand inside the towering stands of Old Trafford. Maguire driving a pass through the middle. Sancho lays it off to his left to McTominay, 25 yards out, but ran into congestion there and actually collided with Caicedo, who's taken a right whack on the left shin, and he is writhing around. I think that's, and it's a yellow card as well for McTominay for that.
Yeah, he may have taken the ball, and I think his studs followed through onto the shin, on the left shin there.
Yeah, Caicedo.
Yeah, it was Caicedo. Yeah, he's moving about. He's okay. I think there's a massive indication here. If somebody's really hurt, they very rarely move. If you've got a bit of a nick or a bit of a kick or something, and I don't think it's got to be too serious. Probably painful, but if you really hurt yourself, you can't roll around 5-6 times.
Well, we've got the stoppage. Manchester United 0, Brighton 0. There are 3 Super League games being played this afternoon, and Dave Woods is watching the leaders.
St Helens, who are leading 20 points to 0 against Castleford. They just scored their 3rd try of the game. Lomax with a grubber kick through. Joe Batchelor chased it, touchdown. Video referee gave it. Makinson has kicked the goal, and Saints muscling their way to being 4 points clear at the top. 20 points to 0. They lead Cass.
Stacks of Commonwealth Games action today. Big finals being played all over the place. You can hear coverage later on Sports Extra. It's on BBC TV. Betty Glover's in the netball hall. Betty?
I am indeed, yeah. England going for bronze against New Zealand. They're chasing New Zealand down here with some quick goals in a row, but they are trailing 31-36 with just over 6 minutes left of the 3rd quarter.
And Ian Carter's watching the final round of the Women's Open at Muirfield as well. We'll have news on that later. That would be absolutely gorgeous today at Muirfield. Have you ever been down to
Never been, no.
That's it.
It's amazing.
Oh. Well, anywhere along the Firth of Forth is
somewhere to tick off, somewhere to get to and get to tick.
And the Renaissance, where they played the Scottish Open the other week, I dropped in there on the way to St Andrews, and there's a point on the north of the course there, which is right on the Firth, which was idyllic. The weather was beautiful that day.
I've got a long way, John, to catch up with you when it comes to sporting venues.
Well, you say that. I've not met Michael Jordan yet. So it is still 0-0. Caicedo, we've not had any further play, incidentally. Caicedo's been receiving treatment. I think it was just one of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the follow-through. I think Scott took the ball, but the follow-through was maybe studs on the shin, maybe. They can be painful, can be surprising, but he's up on his feet now. He's on the halfway line, and the 4th official is just holding him back until ball's in play again.
Quite like what I've seen of him so far. Made his debut at the start of last season, the Ecuador international, just 20 years old. He's back on the field now. Brighton coming forward, Trossard on the left hand side. Trossard challenged by Sancho, who's back there, and he gives it back, Trossard, to Webster, who's right up there joining in the attack, the central defender. And then Caicedo back to Trossard again. Trossard down the left hand side, cuts it back onto his right foot, then he's back onto his left, and he crosses it towards the back post. It's pulled down by Welbeck away on the edge of the penalty area, and then the shot is hit by McAllister, which was deflected. It was a Manchester United man right in front of him, high and up and over.
Yeah, listen, good football as well, and I think what Danny Welbeck must have told his centre halves, just find me. I'm quicker than Maguire, I'm quicker than Martinez, find me. And every single time the centre halves get it at Brighton, he's on his bike over the top, straight ball, straight run.
Corner, first of the match actually, for either side, and March and Gross have gone over there to take it, where the Stretford end meets the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, and I think it's going to be Gross. March is there, could be March runs over it, so it is Gross who takes it. It's the outswing, a dunk with the header, but underneath it, and it just looped away off his forehead, up and high and wide, and dropped behind the goal in front of the Stretford end. So it is still 0-0. So what have we had so far? Fernandes with that chance for Manchester United that he shot over. The Ericsson opportunity after that flowing move forward, and those early chances that Trossard had after Manchester United gave the ball away. United with it. Here is Ericsson, and then he leaves it to be taken on by McTominay, but McTominay is dispossessed, and then it's chested down by Caicedo. Trossard on the left hand side, the Brighton number 11, the Belgian international, plays it through to Welbeck inside the box. Welbeck's to the back post, it's there. Brighton have scored. Gross arrived to tap it in inside the 6-yard box. And that is not part of the Eric Ten Hag story, is it? On his first day in the Premier League, it's Manchester United 0, Brighton 1, and United carved open.
Yeah, the man Caicedo there, he has just come back onto the pitch, and he's kind of taken charge of that situation there. He's bounced off a few Man United players there, fed it through to Welbeck, who made another great run just down the left-hand side of Brighton side, and he just fed it across the box. And there was a choice of players that could have put that in the back of the net, and I do believe that Brighton, on what I've seen so far, have looked the more likely to score.
Well, if Brighton score against Manchester United, Pascal Gross is your man. He was on target in the 4-0 in May. Believe it or not, that's his 5th goal against Manchester United in the Premier League.
You know what? It's great work. Caicedo first, then I think it was Trossard down the left-hand side. Just looking at the screens here, looking at Ronaldo. Screens, the ball goes in the back of the net, and Ronaldo's saying, as if to say, come on lads, pick it up, which is what they have to do. Brighton have started well.
They have. Now they've started very well, the new Premier League season. And Gross, he was so cool, wasn't he, when he tapped it in?
Yeah, they're the ones that can really, slip you up.
But he just passed it into the net from round about the edge of the 6-yard box. So this is Brighton and Hove Albion, who, remember, have never won at Old Trafford against Manchester United, leading by 1-0. McTominay, United trying to do something about this, but the ball bounces out of play and it's a throw-in, and the Brighton fans to our right are jubilant. They could have been on the beach down there today at Stony Beach, but no, they've eschewed the attractions of Brighton and the seafront there, and they're here at Old Trafford, and they might see a day that no Brighton fan has ever seen before. That would be a reward. Gross playing it forward, but that is out for a throw into Manchester United, halfway inside their own half.
I think so, John. The problem that Man United have got is they've got so many ball players that can pick a pass. What's happening is they're finding themselves all in the same position, which is in the middle of the pitch, and they're all trying to play little 1-2s, but they're not doing it quick enough. And then when they do it quick enough, Sancho and Rashford are too narrow, so there's nowhere to go, no width.
So if you're the manager and you're watching that, when do you change it?
Well, you don't at the moment. You say Rashford stay out there, Sancho stay out here. Make the pitch big, make Brighton have to work a little bit harder to get the ball back. Yeah,
and also fullbacks are a part of that, and here's Shaw joining in down the left-hand side, but then Brighton are able to win the ball back. Fernandes dispossessed on the edge of the penalty area. The ball's played up towards Welbeck. Welbeck holds it up, so good at doing that, and then gives it to the right-hand side, and March with a crossfield pass that is going to arrive at the feet of Trossard. What a pass that was from March on the right. Trossard though has got Dalot with him, but he's beaten Dalot several times already in the match. This time Dalot gets the ball back from Trossard and puts it out of play. We've got a contest here, Dion.
No, we have got a contest, and Brighton are well in it. They're ahead, they deserve to be ahead. United have got to pick up the quality, pick up the pace, be a little bit more ruthless in front of goal.
So we've had the opening goal here in Manchester and an opening goal in Leicester, Pat Murphy.
Gone to Leicester, and it's come from their fullback Tim Castagna. Superb in-swinging corner from Maddison, excellent near post header, felt like a training ground goal, that one. Leicester 1, Brentford 0.
There we are, another team with everything that's happened with Leicester, or everything that hasn't happened with Leicester. Low expectations, but they're in front. We here at Old Trafford, the United supporters, I think it's reached the stage where it's more hope than expectation with them, but a new manager in place. However, it's something of the same old story here. He's tried something different with the false 9, but you feel, Dion, that it's just not working yet. Brighton win the ball back centre field. Now to Trossard, who slips the ball through, looking for the run of Welbeck, but that will run through to the orange gloves of De Gea.
Danny Welbeck's doing so well. He is occupying Martinez, he's occupying Maguire. They're not quite sure where Welbeck is. When one switches off, he's on their shoulders, he's sprinting in between them. He's occupying 2, leaving one Brighton player free.
Yeah, he's enjoying his day in the sun, Danny Welbeck, involved in the opening goal on the half hour for Pascal Gross. United playing it through the middle to Fernandes. Now here's Eriksen in a deeper position again. Manchester United's new number 14, the Danish international. Ball out towards the left-hand side for Rashford. Comes back in field to Eriksen. Eriksen back to Rashford in the yellow boots. Then knocks it centrally to Fred. 25 yards out, left-footed shot, but well wide of the mark. It's the Brighton fans who are cheering that as it disappears into the United fans in the lower tier of the East Stand.
Yeah, that's not Fred's forte, I'm afraid. 25-yarders. I've not seen any of those hit the top bins at all. More patience from United. It's just a bit slow when they do have the ball in the middle of the park. There's 4 and 5 passes. By that time, Brighton have gotten themselves into really good defensive positions and no movement again. Just a little bit sharp, a little bit sluggish United at the moment.
Yeah, but Brighton have impressed. And it is always the case. A day like this, the focus is so much on one team because of what's happening at Manchester United. A new manager. Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't the case within United. They'll have given Brighton due care and attention, particularly the way Brighton finished last season. There was no let-up from them. We're in good form at the end of the campaign, not least with that 4-0 win over Manchester United. Their most handsome victory they've ever had in the top flight of English football. And here they are winning 1-0, possibly on the way to their first win at Old Trafford. A long way to go yet, though. Here's McAllister on the edge of the box, the Argentine. But he loses out. McTominay brings it forward. McTominay passes it forward to Bruno Fernandes. There's a touch there from Caicedo, and then McTominay barged over by McTominay barging over Caicedo. McTominay, who is already on a yellow card, let's not forget.
I think there's a bit of frustration, actually. Caicedo took the ball off of, I think it was Bruno's toe. And then I think McTominay's trying to get it back, and Bruno and sort of McTominay nudged over Caicedo there. He's everywhere at the moment. He's doing really well, stamping his authority on this game, frustrating the Man United midfield.
Yes, he is, the number 25, Moises Caicedo. And it was Caicedo who scored the opening goal in that 4-0 win in May against Manchester United. This Ecuadorian international from Santo Domingo. Here come Brighton again. Welbeck with the shot from just to the right of the penalty spot. Cross from the right hand side from Lallana, sort of waist height. He tried to wrap his foot around it on the volley but sent it wide.
Yeah, tough one actually. He's ahead of the near post. He's got a defender on his left shoulder and he's trying to spin and volley it in the near post and couldn't quite get enough purchase on it.
So it is still Manchester United 0, Brighton 1. That is the news if you've just joined us on 5 Live or BBC Sounds on this first Sunday of the new Premier League season. A story developing and no mistake. Cristiano Ronaldo only named amongst the substitutes, and needless to say, as soon as United conceded that goal, the cameras focused right on the face of Cristiano Ronaldo, who was gesticulating away in his seat on the bench. 1-0 Brighton lead, 1-0 Leicester lead in the Sports Extra commentary match. A try at St Helens, Dave Woods.
St Helens 20, Castleford 4, so something for Castleford here. Beretta Ferromo squeezing in at the corner, but they've got 17 minutes left. They have to do that another 3 times. It's unlikely. St Helens 20, Castleford 4.
Yeah, that was a 1 o'clock kickoff with Dave. 2 o'clock kickoff here. Manchester United half-time approaching. 6-7 minutes to play plus added time. Eriksen flights one into the penalty area. That's headed away by Webster. Nodded back in there. Webster's underneath that one as well. And Trossard back inside his own left-back position. Back heels the ball away. They've enjoyed that. Caicedo is onto that. Caicedo running alongside Eriksen and is able to find the pass to Gross, the goal scorer, and Gross in field towards Lallana, and Lallana's 25 yards out and plays it to March on the right hand side, and March in the box now, a low shot, De Gea saves, and it's put into the net for a second goal for Brighton on the stretch. What about this scoreline? Manchester United 0, Brighton 2. They could be on course for their first win at Old Trafford in their entire history. Well, this is not the start that Erik ten Hag was looking for by any means. 2-0 down in the Manchester sunshine, and a stern face on his. Down there in front of us with his hands in his pockets, he stares at the ground.
There seems to be people out their seats already, John. whether they're going for their early snacks or...
Oh, can't be leaving the ground already, Dion.
Well, when that goal went in, there was an element of these exits being filled up. I can see people still leaving now all over the stadium, whether they're leaving to get in the queue for their bovril and their pie, or they are absolutely disgusted at what they've seen. Brighton have executed what they came to do, which is to squeeze United, make them make mistakes, put them under pressure, force them to play down the middle of the pitch, and it's fell right into Graham Potter's hands.
Pascal Gross with his second goal of the match. Manchester United 0, Brighton 2, Pascal Gross 2. So he goes from 5 to 6 goals in his career against Manchester United in the Premier League. And that also a tap in the 6-yard box. After March's initial shot, De Gea getting down, not quite at full stretch, could only parry the ball across the 6-yard area.
It's not a bad save, John. It's not a bad save. He's parried it out of the danger area. It's on an angle. You need your defenders to help you out a little bit. They've got to be on their mettle a little bit more, United.
Well, what a scoreline. And now here's Welbeck racing away towards the Stratford end, and he's got Maguire with him. Maguire goes down. He's been fouled by Welbeck, who does not care for that decision at all, but it is a free kick to Manchester United, and Welbeck's picked up the ball. De Gea can't get it back from him, and De Gea takes the free kick.
They don't look comfortable at all with Welbeck. The whole of the back four don't really know how to mark him.
Long pass forward from Martinez, looking for the run of Rashford through the middle, but Brighton are able to tidy that up, dunk on the edge of the penalty area, and Brighton come forward again. They've been excellent, Brighton. You know, let's not lose sight of that. Manchester United, I mean, there is a feeling of shock around the place. No one was quite expecting this. With Brighton, as I say, no Manchester United fan who's come here has ever seen Brighton win here. There was a feeling, well, perfect opponents maybe for Manchester United. Not so, not a bit of it.
They're enjoying this. Brighton are really enjoying this. Their players are working so hard. Caicedo in the middle of the park's been great. Dunk's just made sure everything at the back is nice and solid, and Danny Welbeck up top as well is outstanding. So the centre of the pitch, their backbone, so to speak, is very, very strong. And then you've got the frills of Trossard and Gross looking very good, very strong, very organised.
2 goals in 10 minutes from Pascal Gross, the German, the 31-year-old German. And there is a strange atmosphere, let me tell you, around Old Trafford in the home sections. Most are just sitting there quietly. As Dion said, many have actually left their seats to disappear onto the concourses for the half-time break. The Brighton supporters, I think they can hardly believe their eyes. To our right, they're singing their songs. That's where the noise is coming from at the moment, the corner to our right.
They're going to win the league is the song from Brighton at the moment.
Well, I've got to get past Tottenham first. So, this is the story of the day. Manchester United 0, Brighton 2. And Graham Potter, at the moment, he's the man of the day, not Eric Ten Hag. It's the Englishman down there, the Midlander from Solihull, who continues to build his reputation. Graham Potter. Still 1-0 to Leicester against Brentford, approaching half-time there. You can hear that on Sports Extra. But Manchester United 0, Brighton 2.
Subs are out as well. United subs are out. They'll be staying out, I would imagine, at half-time.
So Brighton looking for a third goal. Caicedo actually turns and plays it back and gives it straight to Sancho. And then Martinez at the back. Martinez forward towards the left-hand side to Luke Shaw. Manchester United, simply the task is need to get one back before half-time. Bruno Fernandes lifts one into the penalty area. Sancho has moved across to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Sancho turns, faces the box, then gives it back to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes, nice turn from him, beats Gross, left-footed ball in. Rashford could only get that on his chest, and it bounced down, and Brighton were able to clear it away. McTominay now forward from him. Then Dallow's ball in, took a deflection, a flick from Eriksson across the 6-yard box, but then a clearance as well, away to comparative safety by Veltman. And Manchester United supporters, one or two now getting to their feet. I think they're saying, come on, where's that been? That's more like it. But we've seen precious little of that sort of thing very little pressure from Manchester United on this Brighton defence. Here they come again into the penalty area. Shaw's up there. Shaw turns and shoots from the angle, but that was straight at Sanchez, and the goalkeeper was able to make a comfortable save. So 2-0 to Brighton.
Just watching Ronaldo. Ronaldo's he's looking at the bench and he's kind of rolling his arms as if to say, shall I start running? You've got to make a change. What's going on? So he's pulling his hamstrings and his thighs, and he's having a bit of a jog. Wouldn't surprise me if he stays out, or the subs stay out, I would imagine, for half-time. Yeah,
so half-time approaching. We're in the 45th minute. Cristiano Ronaldo sent to warm up, with Donny van de Beek, incidentally, is also down there with him. 2 minutes of added time. And, the fact he's been sent up to warm up before half-time, that indicates that we're likely to see him at the start of the second half, Dion.
Yeah, maybe he's going through a proper warm-up as well, a few sprints and a few high knees and stuff. The false nine hasn't worked in the first half. I just think they don't know quite who should really be there most of the time. There's somebody there and there's nobody there. You've got to fill the spaces.
Manchester United 0, Brighton 2. Both goals from Pascal Gross. And Fred in the left back position. Caicedo all over the back of him. Fred goes down, no free kick given. Thought there might have been hands in his back there, but not given. Bruno Fernandes can't get the bouncing ball down. Shaw gives it back to Martinez. Martinez preferred to Varane, but Martinez is going to be dispossessed. Here he is by March, who was running away, and he was tugged down, and that will be a yellow card for the debutant Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez, panic sets in. As soon as that ball comes back to Martinez or Maguire, Dalot, Shaw, Welbeck is in their face, and then you've got other Brighton players in behind. On that occasion it was Lallana, then it's Trossard, then it's Gross. They are going together, and Martinez was left there. He was wrong side, and I do believe that Gross was on his way.
2-0 to Brighton. What a scoreline. We're bringing you here on 5 Live Premier League Sunday this afternoon. Free kick then for Brighton, which is taken down into the full-back position and bounces out of play. So 2 minutes of added time are almost up inside Old Trafford. A lot of empty red seats now. I'm presuming they've just gone to the various concession stalls and whatnot, and probably talking there about how we'll see Cristiano Ronaldo in the second half. But United with it inside their own half. Rashford's come to the right. Long ball from Maguire to him. Rashford gets up, heads it infield, but that's it. And it's Brighton cheers that you can hear inside Old Trafford. And it is some Manchester United boos after that performance. Well, Erik ten Hag turns to his left and walks away. The television cameras following him this time. The walk isn't quite as perky as it was 45 minutes ago when he burst out of the tunnel. He's watched his team concede 2 goals. He's gone with a false 9 system that simply hasn't worked. And for Manchester United and for Erik ten Hag, really, it can only improve from here. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, I just believe that they're not quite sure what they're doing with that false 9 at all. I'm watching Eriksen and Bruno walk off the pitch, shoulders slumped, not looking confused, to be honest. Brighton knowing exactly what they're doing, looking sharp. Caicedo's been brilliant. Welbeck's been brilliant. I just think Brighton have been the far better side and deserve their 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and Manchester United specialist Pascal Gross has scored both of the goals, which means at half-time here at Old Trafford we have, I think, what you have to call a shock scoreline of Manchester United 0, Brighton 2, but all credit to the visitors. They deserve it. Steve Crossman's here with us.
They do, and we will talk much more about that after we get the half-time at Leicester. Pat Murphy.
Leicester are leading Brentford 1-0, and they deserve it. Brentford's only chance wasted by Tony. His first touch not good enough. An important early rehabilitatory save from Ward, sprawling, a brave save. Ward in for the talismanic Schmeichel, who left it earlier this week. Maddison has been superb, so is Tielemans. Tielemans has hit the inside of the post. He was also followed by a flying save from Raya. Maddison laid on the goal for Castagna. Perfect in-swinging corner, deft near post header. They deserve it. They play some good stuff. Very impressed by the left-footed Dewsbury Hall in midfield. Gives Leicester balance. Leicester 1, Brentford 0.
England manager Gareth Southgate's just been posing for a couple of photographs in the director's box away to our left-hand side. He's disappeared down the tunnel. Erik ten Hag bounced out of the players' tunnel at the start of the game, but he has stormed back into it, and that is because of an outstanding performance from this Brighton side. Dion Dublin, that second Brighton goal is one of the best goals I've seen in ages. It actually started with that Trossard flick right down by the corner flag.
Doesn't surprise me, Steve, that they've come here knowing, and I did say before the game, maybe they think they've got Man United's number. They have in that first 45. I just feel that they've been set up good. The application of the players is what I love. The application, how they squeeze together, they defend together, they work so hard. They're playing some really good football, and what's happening is they're stretching Man United. They're making Man United do what Man United should be doing to Brighton on their home patch, making the pitch big. Danny Welbeck's putting the fear of God in the two centre halves, and the fullbacks don't know what to do, whether to go or to stay. Brighton have got it spot on. Man United have got so much work to do.
I'm just looking at some of the messages we've had. 85058 at 5 Live Sport. If you're a Brighton fan and want to show off, we want to hear from you. Equally, if you're a Man United fan, you can vent to us, no problem. And there's a lot of them. Paul, what is going on? They don't look any different. Pat, new season, same old United. Joe, Ten Hag looks out of his depth. I mean, look, it's 45 minutes, Dion. And I suppose that there is a reason why this Manchester United at the minute might not look transformed, because apart from a couple of names, it is the same Manchester United.
Well, it is, but we've got a different manager. The manager's obviously trying to put his own philosophy on this team, trying to make them play a different way, trying to apply a different attitude. It hasn't shown in the first 45 minutes. We can only judge United on what we see on the pitch. That is it. The manager's had 45 minutes. Leave him alone for now. If he keeps getting it wrong, then you can get on his back. It's 45 minutes, leave him alone. Let's see how he reacts at half-time, and let's see how the players come out as well. And I've said it many, many times. Is it only the manager? Have all the other managers been wrong? Sometimes the players have got to hold their hand up and say, listen, I've had a stinker over the last 2 or 3 years. I think I've got to pull my socks up.
We wouldn't normally do transfer news at half-time, but Manchester United are clearly in need of players. The new manager wants some in. The Athletic, Laurie Whitwell and James Horncastle, two very, very reliable journalists at The Athletic, reporting that Manchester United have made a bid for a striker, Dion. I don't think you would guess it, if I'm completely honest. We were mentioning earlier that Ralf Rangnick has gone off to manage Austria. It is an Austrian striker, Marko Arnautovic. Thoughts?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
That would put the cat among the pigeons.
yeah. Well, it's interesting because I was only reading the other day that they were looking at what was described as an Ighalo-style signing, and that would be an Ighalo-style signing. Whether or not that's what they need, John Murray, is another question.
Well, it's interesting. We were making the point yesterday at Everton when I was there with Pat Nevin. Clearly, Everton want a striker, and we were talking about, who would it be? Who can they get who you would say would be able to make an impact in the Premier League and score goals in the Premier League? I think that's quite a difficult call, but Arnautovic has scored goals in the Premier League.
And the Ighalo signing worked out pretty well, and you would have said that some people might have said the same thing. I might have had a quizzical look about him before that happened. What would make a difference, of course, is getting in a new midfielder, which is something they've obviously been looking at with Frenkie de Jong. But a brief word on another striker who's playing on the opposite team. I read an interview with Danny Welbeck the other day, Dion, with him talking about having had his first full pre-season in a long time. He's been brilliant.
Shows. It absolutely shows. He looks in good nick. I've got to say, his movement's been good, his strength, and as a centre forward, psychologically you want to have that edge where defenders are worrying about you. Where is he? Oh no, he's here. He's stronger than me, he's quicker than me. You've kind of won the battle if that's the case, and judging by his performance in the first 45 minutes, Welbeck has been absolutely outstanding. And just before John comes in, I'm looking at the Brighton subs. They are out on the pitch. I can't see any Man United subs out on the pitch. Brighton subs are on the pitch. They're doing a proper warm-up. They're moving about. They're looking sharp. They've got a coach with them. That's great to see.
on Danny Welbeck, who is 31 now. When I covered a match towards the end of last season, a Brighton match, and I was asking Johnny Cantor from BBC Sussex, who covers them all the time, I said, has he got any interests of doing media work or anything like that? And Johnny said, actually, I've asked him that question, and he said to me, I'm not getting involved in that sort of thing yet. I'm still playing football, and I've got a lot of football left in my career, or words to that effect.
Yeah, well, we've certainly seen that this afternoon. There are no Manchester United substitutes out, but the rakes are out on the pitch, and the players, you can argue, have dug themselves a pretty big hole. Dion, John, thank you very much for the time being. There has been another try in Super League for Dave Woods.
Yes, 3 minutes left to play. It's St Helens 20, Castleford 12. A hat-trick for Barreto Ferremo, 3 in 13 minutes. They've missed all 3 conversions. Castleford, if they'd not done that, if they'd landed one of them, it could have been a really fascinating finish. As it is, Saints should hang on here, you think. They lead by 20 points to 12 with 3 minutes to go.
We'll be round all of the live action in the Commonwealth Games, and we'll make our first trip of the day to the London Stadium, which is our base for 4:30 commentary of the champions Manchester City, who get their season underway at West Ham United. We will do all of that after the news on 5 Live with Stuart Clarkson.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thank you, Steve. Good afternoon. Research by the BBC has found holiday food vouchers for children on free school meals have been cut in value or stopped by around 40 councils across England this summer. Many say they're putting money into holiday activities and food programmes instead. The government says it's invested more than £240 million for local authorities to spend on families with children. The former Conservative leadership contender Penny Mordaunt says people misinterpreted Liz Truss's comments about not giving handouts to people struggling with energy bills. The Foreign Secretary says she'll focus on tax cuts instead if she becomes the next Prime Minister. Meanwhile, the former Labour PM Gordon Brown has called on Boris Johnson and his 2 potential successors to come up with an emergency budget this week to deal with the cost of living crisis. He's warning of a financial time bomb for families when energy prices rise again in October. And detectives investigating the disappearance of a student nurse, Awami Davis, in South London have arrested a 5th man. The 33-year-old is being questioned on suspicion of kidnap. 4 others who were being held have now been released on bail.
This is 5 Live Sport
with Steve Crossman.
Well, what a first half we've had here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Brighton 2 at the break. Great day so far for Brighton boss Graham Potter, the man from the Midlands, and we're going to take you to Birmingham right now. The Commonwealth Games. England have lost their netball bronze medal match to New Zealand, Betty Glover.
Yeah, it's bronze for New Zealand and heartbreak for England, Steve. At full-time, New Zealand 55, England 48. Despite England cutting the Silver Ferns lead down to just 4 at one point, England spent majority of the game chasing New Zealand after they took a very slender lead after the first quarter. Quite a similar story to yesterday's semi-final, actually, and it seemed England just lost their heads and didn't have the answers. A disappointing game for the Roses, who came into this as defending champions. Later, Jamaica hoping to make history by winning gold for the first time against Australia.
Let's go to the NEC. Busy day of boxing finals for Jonathan Overend.
It's fabulous entertainment for the ticket holders here in Birmingham today. We're into the afternoon session and yet another final with home nation's interest in the gold medal fight. This is Dylan Eagleson, the 19-year-old from Northern Ireland, who has impressed us throughout the tournament, and he's taken Abraham Mensah from Ghana all the way into the final seconds. There's only about 10 seconds remaining in the third round, although having said that, the referee has just stopped it because some adjustments are required in the Ghanaian corner, but Eagleson has impressed so much that he's fought his way back into this final by winning the second round on all 5 judges' scorecards. He dropped the first round, so the comeback is on. Now can he finish with a flourish and secure the gold medal? They're both swinging wildly. Mensah is charging around the ring like a bull, but Eagleson thinks he's done enough as the bell goes. Another quite superb gold medal fight here at the NEC in Birmingham. And has Dylan Eagleson done enough to win Northern Ireland's first gold medal in the boxing ring? Wales have won 1 gold through Rosie Eccles already today. Scotland have won 2 through Sam Hickey and Sean Lazzarini. There have been silver medals for Taylor Bevan for Wales, Carly McNall for Northern Ireland, and for Demi Reid, Jade Resden and Kieran MacDonald of England. But that was most definitely one of the fights of the week. And as we await the decision, which will come in the next few seconds, we wonder whether the Northern Ireland man has just done enough. As I say, he dropped that first round, but he came back superbly in the second, and now we'll hope that his final flourish has done enough to sway the judges. Eagleson is in red. Will he get the decision?
Gold medalist. In the red!
Northern Ireland's first gold medal of the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham in the boxing ring is won by Dylan Eagleson, a name for the future, most definitely. He is the gold medal winner in the men's bantamweight division. Steve.
The tension that you get when the decision is being made, it is just like the noise that you get here at Old Trafford, the quiet that we've had from Manchester United fans during this first half. Elsewhere, England took gold in the men's 4x100 relay, silver for the women. Matt Hudson-Smith and Victoria Hurrigu took silvers in their respective 400-metre finals. England's women were thrashed by New Zealand in the bronze medal cricket match. The favourites, Australia, face India for the gold medal at 5. You can hear commentary of that on 5 Sports Extra. And in Super League, it's finished St Helens 20, Castleford 12. Let's check in at the Women's Open in the final round. Ian Carter.
Yes, still waiting for the leaders to go out, but plenty of British interest on the course, and Charlie Hull off to an awful start. Bogey, double bogey, so she's tumbled back to level par. It's been a decent day for Louise Duncan, 1 under par for the 15 holes she's played. She's in the group at level par. Mel Reid and Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff both at 1 under. Remember, the leader is Ash Buhai at 14 under.
When we're done here at Old Trafford, we'll be taking you to the London Stadium for full commentary of the champions Manchester City at West Ham. United's players are already out. We've got a couple of minutes until the second half gets underway. Let's go to the London Stadium. Conor McNamara, the first opportunity to see Erling Haaland proper.
Yes, good afternoon, Steve. Happy new season to you. Yeah, that cameo in the Community Shield wasn't quite all fireworks and bluster, was it, from the new Norwegian striker? I think Manchester City fans are hoping that it'll fall into his lap a little bit more. There was times when Kevin De Bruyne tried to play through passes that were intercepted. Haaland did appear to be making good runs. He just didn't quite get onto it. But this hasn't been an easy place for visiting teams to come over the past 2 seasons. David Moyes has turned what was a vacuous, echoey stadium. People wondering, was it really suited for football? Last season it was. I did a lot of West Ham games here towards the end of the campaign. They got all the way to the semi-final of the Europa League, and the atmosphere was never in doubt. I think West Ham fans will want to pick up now where that left off, and having finished in the top 7 in the last 2 seasons in a row, they can hold their head high, and starting today, very difficult first assignment for West Ham against the reigning champions. They would love to get off to a good start here.
Yeah, we've just seen Erik ten Hag come out of the tunnel trying to get the Manchester United fans on their feet. Should say as well, Connor, West Ham have got a new striker that we might see for the first time today.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see when the teams are announced. We'll get them in the next half an hour or so. But Gianluca Scamacca has been brought in, £35 million from Sassuolo. Only Immobile was the only Italian who scored more goals than him in Serie A last season. He's the man that David Moyes wanted. They've splashed the cash on him. Match fitness apparently is the issue as to whether he will start. West Ham have also brought in Naif Aguerd, the Moroccan defender from Rennes. He definitely won't be involved here. Do you know, I don't think, Steve, it's a major problem for David Moyes if these new guys don't play. And I'll tell you what, I think that solid starting 11 that he had last season were so well versed together, played so well together. He hasn't lost any big names. What they were last season was tired, and I think a summer refresh, I think he'll be happy to play those players that he had last season again, but have them fresh today.
We are underway in the second half here at Old Trafford. John Murray.
No changes at half-time. No Cristiano Ronaldo yet. Manchester United 0, Brighton 2. If you've just switched on, that's the scoreline here that'll be creating ripples all around the world. Pascal Gross scoring both goals for Brighton. And another goal in Leicester, Pat Murphy.
To Leicester City, they lead 2-0. I mentioned at half-time, John, what an impressive game Kiernan Dewsbury Hall was playing. Naturally left-footed. Well, this one, screamer, 30 yards, bang, great goal from Dewsbury Hall. Leicester 2, Brentford 0. Yeah,
really impressed every time I saw him last season, and Gareth Southgate sitting over to our left about 15 yards away. I have to say I would put him down as an outsider, Dewsbury Hall, for the World Cup squad, but that's in the future. What's here in the present day on Dublin is that Manchester United have got a job on their hands. Ten Hag has used one of the great managerial weapons. He sent the team out early and he's not made the change yet. Cristiano Ronaldo walking along the touchline, and he's back in his seat on the bench again.
Yeah, I think he'll give it 10-15 minutes, maybe not even that long. He'll want to see a change. He'll want to see more width and more positivity. Move the ball quicker. United players have got to give themselves half a chance of getting back in this game.
And already we've seen Marcus Rashford miscontrol the ball out of play for a throw-in. United coming forward. I'll run you through the teams again in a moment. Here's Shaw on the left-hand side. United trying to come back from 2-0 down. And Rashford on the left-hand side. Rashford didn't deliver. You can hear the groans around Old Trafford for those supporters who've retaken their seats. Shaw swings in the cross. That's deflected across the edge of the penalty area. It's headed out. Heavy touch by Martinez. Martinez then on the follow-up gets a deflection out to Rashford on the left-hand side. Rashford as Manchester United now attacking towards the Stretford end. Square to Fred. One or two shouts of shoot. He doesn't. He gives it to Fernandes. Fernandes now. That's a nice ball into the space for Shaw. Shaw's cross takes a flick off the defender's head. Fred then nods it into the area, and it's easily cleared away by Webster to Maguire, who's all on his own on the halfway line. So the Manchester United team with the false 9 that Eric Ten Hag has chosen to use. David De Gea in goal. Dalot, Maguire, Martinez and Shaw at the back. McTominay and Fred, and Bruno Fernandes centrally, then Sancho, Rashford in the wide positions, and mainly Christian Eriksen as the false 9, although it has switched between Eriksen and Fernandes. Brighton, I'll run you through their team unchanged at half-time as well. Lallana bringing the ball forward. Here is the impressive Welbeck. Welbeck tried to give it back to Lallana. It was just blocked, but Welbeck's in there again, and Welbeck's now under the loose ball on the left-hand side, onto his right foot, just inside the penalty area. Works it back to Caicedo. Caicedo to Trossard. Trossard's cross. Welbeck's header just wide of the top of the near post. Goal kick.
You know what? I don't know what it is, but United look so leggy. They look heavy legged. They can't get to the ball. They're not squeezing quickly. There's lots and lots of numbers in front. I'm not sure who crossed that ball. I think it might have been Trossard again, but it was just lots of numbers in front of him, but they couldn't get anywhere near him. Welbeck free header near post.
Manchester United 0, Brighton 2. You know, I'm absolutely certain United fans, wherever they are, will be saying, why not Cristiano Ronaldo? The thing that Ten Hag knows that we don't know is, you know, what is his physical state at the moment, and what do they feel that it is not risky to use him for in this match? You know, you have to consider that, don't you? Fernandes playing it forward towards Eriksen now. Eriksen finds a bit of space. Eriksen with a cross to the back post, and the stretch from Rashford. He couldn't get contact on that. But there's a little glimpse there, a little cameo from Eriksen, Christian Eriksen, showing what he is capable of.
But that's why he cannot play in the 9. That's why I did say before the game, you don't want him playing with his back to goal. He needs to be able to see everything. He'll pick a pass. That's what he's brought into the football club for, his vision, his culture. He's not a false 9.
So 2-0 to the visitors here, 2-0 to Leicester City. That match is on Sports Extra on your digital radio via BBC Sounds. 6:06 will follow. Manchester United fans will be lighting up the lines to Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton later, so you can talk about the day's action there, read all about it on the BBC Sport website and app as usual, and then watch it on Match of the Day tonight, Match of the Day 2. Ball played forward down the right-hand side for Dalot. He's onto this. Dalot crosses it deep to the back post. Rashford takes it down on his right foot. Packed penalty area. Rashford shoot. Blocked by a defender. Fernandes now deflected across the penalty area. Webster heads away. Lallana's in there. Shouts for handball. It bounced up. Lallana jumping for it. Got a foot to it. Whether it bounced up and hit his hand or not, I'm not sure. VAR obviously will be taking a look at that. McTominay looked towards referee Tierney. United come again. Shaw on the left hand side. Shaw chips it across. It's headed out to Fernandes, who took it down. A packed penalty area still for Brighton, and then Fernandes ball into the box is easily headed back by Webster to his goalkeeper Sanchez de Dublin.
The thing is about United, that they can get into these areas where they can cross the ball, but when they look up, there's nobody really in that box. If they do lift it, who's going to go and make their presence felt apart from Scott McTominay in the air? Not many others, so it's going to have to be the perfect goal.
Ronaldo is being prepared now. 5 minutes played in the second half. That's the ripple of applause that you could hear. In the Super League, we've already heard about St Helens' victory. Leeds 6, Salford 0, Wakefield 0, Catalan 4 are the latest scores. Solly March playing on the right-hand side for Brighton. Passes it forward to Trossard, who's made a run out towards the right flank. Martinez was able to put it out of play. off the Brighton man for a throw-in to the home side, to Manchester United, making the most unpromising of starts under their new Dutch coach. So as I say, Ronaldo is getting himself ready down there on the touchline. He'll be onto the field shortly. United sweeping forward down the right. Ball played in to the edge of the box, but misplaced pass for Manchester United by Sancho. Groans again from the home supporters, and Brighton trying to work it forward to the halfway line. It's been won back. McTominay in there drags the ball back from his opponent. Then Eriksen just outside the box, square to Rashford. Rashford now left side of the area, shoots, but it flicks the outside of the netting on the way wide. It might well actually have taken a flick off the defender, but it's given as a goal kick. And there was a bit of a dust up on the halfway line off the ball there. Harry Maguire was involved, I think.
Tangle of legs.
Trossard.
It was. Tangle of legs, yeah.
Yellow for Maguire, yellow for Trossard.
Just a tangle of legs, and after the ball had gone a couple of seconds, they were still tangled and they wanted to push each other off. And there's the cheers. This is what they wanted to see.
You know what that means. Cristiano Ronaldo is about to make his appearance. Left out of the starting lineup for Erik ten Hag's first Premier League match, having barely been involved pre-season. But the famous number 7, Cristiano Ronaldo, at 37 years old, starts yet another season of league football. And will it be Cristiano Ronaldo to the rescue for the new manager?
Well, Brighton will have a focal point that they have to concentrate on now. Duncan Webster will have to mark somebody, which will be a different mindset to them towards the game.
And Fred, the player, off, so the defensive-minded Fred is off. Ronaldo is on. United coming forward, ball in from the right-hand side. Brighton 2-0 up here, but a long way to go in this match. Brighton have got a lot of defending to do. Maguire wins the ball back and is then penalised for doing so illegally, and it's a free kick to Brighton. And Lewis Dunk has got one or two things to say. The Brighton lineup, by the way: Sanchez in goal, Veltman, Dunk and Webster, the 3 central defenders. Then McAllister and Caicedo in the deeper lying midfield positions. March on the right, Trossard on the left, Gross and Lallana in the middle, and Welbeck, here he is. Welbeck inside the penalty area. Martinez puts the challenge in on him. Well, it did look as though there was contact there. Welbeck went down, not enough, says Paul Tierney, to consider that to be a penalty. And I suspect that, you know, the decision there was that clear and obvious. VAR will be having a look.
I am very surprised.
Yeah, he says play on. They're happy to go with the referee's decision.
Fair enough. I'm looking at
it was a question
here. That could have been a penalty on any other day quite easily.
Interesting, but not given. So Brighton still lead 2-0. But depending on what happens, Graham Potter might mention that at the end of the game. Ronaldo now into the action for the first time. Plays the ball past Veltman. Then there's a collision. He goes down. Veltman comes across, helps to lift Ronaldo up to his feet again, very thoughtfully. Veltman. And it's out of play for a throw into Manchester United. There's a different feel now around the place with Cristiano Ronaldo on the field. It was very, very quiet after Brighton scored that second goal in the first half. Fernando now chipping the ball into the Brighton penalty area, looking for the run of Sancho, but it's headed behind by Dunk. It's a corner to Manchester United. Incidentally, this is their first corner in the 11th minute of the second half, taken short, fired in by Eriksen, but Caicedo blocked that, and they will have a second consecutive penalty. I saw 13 Chelsea corners in the first half at Goodison Park yesterday, the first half alone. So Eriksen to take this, just steps away in front of the Stretford end, all of the red shirts in there behind him. Eriksen swings it in, but it's headed up and away for Brighton. Powerful, commanding header away by Dunk, the Brighton captain. Then Martinez misses it centre field. It runs under his boot. Fernandez then to the right hand side. March was in on the challenge on Dalot, and Dalot, who was spinning as he took that ball into his stride, was fouled, says Paul Tierney. So free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, corner of the box down Manchester United's right on the edge of the 18-yard box on the corner, right hand side. Who's over it? Bruno's over it, Eriksen's over it. Now Brighton will have somebody to worry about apart from Maguire.
2-0 Brighton lead. Dion Dublin with us. 5 Live BBC Sounds on this Premier League Sunday. Eriksen stands over the ball. We know what he is capable of from the set piece situation. He lifts his left wrist to his face, and then there's a signal with his left hand. Eriksen, right-footed delivery, but it is headed away for Brighton on the edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, lovely turn by Bruno Fernandes, but then he was challenged, wanted a free kick. It's not given. Brighton have won the ball back. Brighton are away on the counter-attack. Trossard now. Trossard taking on the little figure of Christian Eriksen, who did very well actually to get back there into position and be one of the defenders to put it out for a throw to Brighton over on the far side.
That's the attitude he would have wanted to see. Ten Hag, the ball getting cut out of the near post, Eriksen being the one that defends. Yes, he plays it safe, but work rate, attitude is good.
Rugby League latest, Leeds 12, Wakefield, Salford 0, and Wakefield 0, Catalan 12. Brighton with this throw. Commentary to come on West Ham, Manchester City from 4:30. Leicester winning 2-0 against Brentford. We'll go there again when we get a chance. But March now on the left-hand side, but had run the ball out of play, so it is Manchester United's ball. March has kicked the ball away there. I think he's going to get away with it. He is. It's a Manchester United throw. Right, so let's get the latest from Leicester Brentford with Pat Murphy.
Still 2-0 to Leicester. It could have been 3 soon after that excellent goal by Dewsbury Hall. Tielemans, who's been outstanding, 25 yards out, low save from Raya. Leicester 2, Brentford 0.
Finished Hibernian 1, Hearts 1 in the Edinburgh derby earlier. Monday Night Club is back for the new Premier League season tomorrow night with Mark Chapman, Chris Sutton, Micah Richards and Rory Smith. I wonder what'll be top of the bill for the discussion tomorrow night. Shaw plays the ball in field but hits a defender, and Brighton are able to bring it away again in the blue and white, the wide blue and white striped shirts. For Brighton and Hove Albion, 9th in the Premier League last season. They're the highest finish they've ever recorded in their league history, 9th in the top flight. And here they are now with history on their hands. As Tony Blair used to say, they're feeling the hand of history on their shoulders here. Perhaps their first win at Old Trafford against Manchester United. They've got a 2-goal cushion, but Cristiano Ronaldo coming on in the 53rd minute. Not really been involved in a goal-scoring sense yet. And there's a flick by McTominay which gives the ball away. And these are familiar groans. These are the sort of groans that Old Trafford managers have been hearing over the course of the past decade since Sir Alex Ferguson left. Ball forward for Welbeck to chase. Shaw gets there first, plays it across the box. De Gea brings it down. Welbeck still herring around, but De Gea is able to pass it away to Dalot. And Dalot's ball beyond the Brighton back line. Ronaldo's onside. He centres it. Rashford shoots and it's saved. But then the offside flag is now up. I did wonder, I must say, if he was offside, Ronaldo, and in any case, if Rashford had been able to score, which he couldn't, the goal would have been ruled out, or at least until VAR.
It's just knowing that Ronaldo's there and knowing that he can make those runs. Yeah, nothing came of it. Yes, he was offside. It's the intent of wanting to make that run of a centre forward that a defender has to deal with. Let's have a look at this. Oh, it's a very close one.
I think he's onside.
I think it's a very, very close one. It might be the legs of Dunk that plays him on, I think.
Yeah, I think he would have been onside. I think if he'd scored, Rashford, but instead, so that now makes that save by Sanchez with his left arm, really good reaction save, a really important one. We think the goal would have counted if Rashford had been able to score.
Yeah, if that goes to VAR, I think that would have stood if he'd have scored.
Back to Leicester, Pat Murphy.
The pull one back, Brentford. Ivan Toney, loose play in their own penalty area by Leicester, and the keeper Ward wasn't really at the races then, and Toney on it like a flash. Left foot 6 yards out. They're back in it. They don't deserve to be. Leicester 2, Brentford 1.
So that game is not over yet. 2-0 to Brighton here, but you feel that this one's not finished just yet either. As Brighton, Veltman heading the ball back to Webster, and then Ronaldo, as the two of them off the ball, Veltman and Ronaldo together. Ronaldo almost got him in a headlock.
I think Veltman blocked Ronaldo trying to get to the ball.
Yeah, so that's the second time that they've tangled, so that's one to watch. Brighton coming forward down the left-hand side. Bright sunshine. Still Brighton come. Trossard into the penalty area. Turns. That's a nice turn. And then defender Dalot, who went with him, was able to get a touch and put it out of play. I mentioned it in the first half, Dion. I think Trossard is a very, very good player.
Yeah, he always makes something happen, whether it's a cross, he always makes his defenders do their job. He always gets some kind of end product, whether it's a shot or a corner on this occasion, but he's lively and he's very trustworthy with the ball.
Yeah, scored a hat-trick last weekend in Brighton's final friendly match before the start of the season against Espanyol. They didn't go far, Brighton. Played a lot of games at home, went to Portugal. United were off on their travels. So it's a corner to Brighton after that good work from Trossard. Here's the delivery into the near post, comes off a United head, and then headed across by Lallana, and then headed away by Martinez on the edge of the 6-yard box. Comes out for Brighton. And Trossard on the right plays the ball into the penalty area, but a tame header goalwards by Webster. Easy catch for De Gea. And a long ball downfield from De Gea. But Veltman was underneath that for Brighton. And the visitors, the Seagulls of Brighton, have got the ball back inside their own half and are knocking it around. And this is a hallmark of Graham Potter's team here. Knocking the ball around, they love possession. Not phased wherever they are. Ball played out towards the left-hand side and then knocked back into central defence to Dunk, who's is another one of those really dependable,
sturdy,
Premier League central defenders. Gareth Southgate has had him in, given him caps. He has played for England. Lewis Dunk. I know there are Brighton supporters who feel that maybe he could have got a few more than just the one cap that he's got so far. Gareth Southgate watching this match as Veltman plays the ball back to the edge of his penalty area to Sanchez. Sanchez, the goalkeeper with his right foot. He landed that a quarter of the way up the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. There's a bit of adrenaline going there, maybe after that save he made from Rashford.
I actually think he didn't want to take the risk of trying to pick one of his teammates out, and he said, let me just go long, let me get it out of the way, might work, might not, it's out of harm's way.
Pick one of those supporters out in a red shirt. Here is Rashford on the left-hand side. We've got just over 25 minutes to play, and still Brighton lead by 2-0. Sancho plays it square to McTominay. Now out to the right-hand side. A little touch. Ronaldo has gone out there to the right to get the ball back. Step over from him. Another step over onto his left foot. Then with his right. Back to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes, little ball to the edge of the area. Back to Ronaldo. He looks for Dalot. Dalot angles it back, but Dalot passes it straight to Solly March. And Solly March can say thank you very much and clear it away to the halfway line. But it comes back. Manchester United again. Ericsson turning. Now in a more deep-lying position, obviously, since Ronaldo came on. Cross to the back post. Rashford arriving, but got right underneath it. Sent it scything high over the crossbar and halfway up the Stretford end.
I want to say that's a really tough finish to try and get on target. The ball's flying and it misses everybody. Goes to the far post. He's 4 yards out. He's on the 6-yard line, 4 yards out. I'm thinking, maybe just let the ball hit your foot, side foot it towards goal and see what happens. Just got his technique wrong. But what you're watching now is that Man United they're not taking any risks. They're putting the ball in the box. Brighton are having to they're forced now to defend the ball in the air because Ronaldo's there.
Manchester United 0, Brighton 2. In the words of Eric Ten Hag in the match programme today, this is a new season and a new story. Well, this wasn't the story that he'll have been dreaming about last night. Fairy tales and all that. This is a horror story for him. 2-0 down. Brighton man's gone down centrally, Trossard.
I think Trossard might have got one off of Maguire there. No. That's one to watch, those two.
Yeah, we saw a bit of that in the first half as well. I suppose we'll have to see if VAR picked that up, whether there's anything sinister in it. Ball played back to Webster. Brighton and Hove Albion supporters in great voice. Oh, that's a poor pass from Webster. He actually passed it straight to his manager, Graham Potter, who just stood there and allowed it to roll off the pitch and down the slope.
I just see Trossard as he got off the turf.
Here's Welbeck now as Brighton come forward again. Trossard is up against Maguire. Still Trossard to the edge of the box. McTominay in with a challenge. I thought that might have been a free kick. Well, that wasn't given. Trossard certainly felt he was fouled. Harry Maguire has a word with referee Tierney as well as they run back down the field, because Manchester United are on the attack now. That's a couple of decisions that have gone against Brighton in this second half. Sancho back to the corner of the penalty area. Worked infield to Eriksen. Eriksen now shoots low, a low shot. Sanchez saves and pushes it out. I thought Ronaldo was going to be onto that, but crucially Veltman got there first, put it behind for a corner.
He was a yard in front of Ronaldo. Veltman needed to be there. Another good save from the keeper. Ronaldo was just there. 4-yard tapping. Veltman cleared it for a corner.
So it's a corner from the left-hand side. Bruno Fernandes to take this one, curls it in underneath the crossbar. Sanchez comes through it. He can't keep it out. That was a scramble. United have forced it over the line, and the goal stands. Manchester United have got one back. It might have been Martinez who forced it in the end.
Might have been Maguire. I'm not quite sure who that was, but the ball's in the back of the net.
The goalkeeper came for it. He's claiming that he was fouled. Might have been Diogo Dalot who got the final touch. There were a couple of men in there, Martinez and Dalot. The goalkeeper went for it. He got his hands to it. He dropped it. It rattled around and was forced over the line. And the question is, was the goalkeeper impeded here or not? Dalot was standing in front of Sanchez, who went for a punch. It hit Dalot on the head, hit him on the back, and then it was Maguire on the line who forced it in. If it is a goal, if that goal is given, and I don't see any reason why it shouldn't, or did it go in off the defender?
Yeah.
Just might have, did that hit an arm as well?
Was it an arm? It might have been an arm. Well, it looked like an arm of Dalot.
Could be a McAllister own goal. Well, VAR, there's an awful lot to sort out here for VAR. The video assistant referee back at Stockley Park. This might take a while. John Brooks and his assistants in there. John Brooks and his assistants will be trying to sort this out. This is a really big moment, Dion, in the match. It's a possible handball, and I think it could be called as a handball.
I'm with you. I think handball on Dalot, to be honest with you. Doesn't know a lot about it, but it's led to a goal.
Yeah. I think it did finally go in off McAllister. I mean, we're seeing replay here. Sanchez is strangling back on the line. It did hit McAllister in the end, who's trying to hike it away, but only put it into his own net. But the question here is whether that is a handball, as it hit Dalot. VAR says no, it was not a handball, and the goal is given. It's an own goal, an Alexis McAllister own goal, and it's Manchester United 1, Brighton 2.
Well, Man United may have got away with one there. I thought it was a handball from Dalot, but fair play to them. Everything's changed now. Ronaldo's on. Body language is different. They're having a proper go.
So we have 20 minutes to play. Manchester United 1, Brighton 2. It's back in the balance now. This is a real test of Brighton. Bruno Fernandes goes down. Challenge from Pascal Gross. And it is given as a free kick. The referee is going to call across. I think the Brighton captain, Lewis Dunk, who I suspect might have said something out of turn after that long delay. Harry Maguire as well has come across to have a word. The two captains together. And Paul Tierney is now pointing at Adam Lallana, whether he said something. And the two of them are being spoken to, Dunk and Lallana, by referee Tierney. The atmosphere's changed inside Old Trafford now. Rugby League latest, Leeds 18, Salford 0, Wakefield 4, Catalan 12. And commentary to come. We'll get the team news when we can. West Ham against Manchester City, our next commentary match, as the champions begin the defence of their title. The ball bounced across the corner of the box, hit Solly March. There were shouts for handball there, it's bounced away off him. Referee Tierney says no, that's only a corner to Manchester United. Real test of Brighton now, 2-0 up at half-time, but now just the one goal in it. The Stretford end in full throat. Here is the corner, Maguire heads it back across the penalty area under pressure. There's a defender there with him. United all the way back to Eriksson. Everyone back for Brighton. It's all hands to the pump for Graham Potter's side. Ball played out to the right hand side by Martinez, taken down by Sancho. Jadon Sancho. Sancho takes on March, tries to clip it across. March blocks it behind, another corner.
Better from United, more players getting in the box, keeping it, forcing Brighton to defend. Another corner in swinger this time from Luke Shaw. Danger for Brighton this.
Big decision from the officials to allow that Manchester United goal. It seemed that it did hit the arm, but the arm was down by his body. Here's the corner played in for Manchester United, which is headed away for Brighton, and it comes out to Bruno Fernandes. I think there was a time, wasn't there, in the various regulations, that if the ball had struck an arm at any point, the goal was ruled out. But in the end, the ball going in off Alexis McAllister. Here's Fernandes on the left-hand side. Fernandes playing the ball down the line to Dalot. Dalot left-footed cross from him to the back post. Oh, Maguire was arriving. Webster just got there first with his head. Ball out towards the far side, hasn't gone out of play yet. Brighton are pinned back here. They're pinned in by Manchester United as the home side win the ball again. Maguire still up after that latest set piece. Nice piece of footwork from him. That's appreciated by the crowd. It's worked to the left-hand side by Eriksson to Dalot. Dalot now attacking the Brighton defence, playing the ball in. Sanchez has lost it, but the ball, fortunately for the Brighton goalkeeper, falls to a teammate who is able to clear.
Much better, moving the ball quickly, 1 and 2 touch, getting the ball from the right side to the left-hand side, putting the ball in the box. Dalot shooting on this occasion.
Feels like a cup tie, this. Not the first match of the league season. That's the sort of atmosphere that we have here, as there is that threat from Brighton on the counter-attack, and that's a misplaced header from Eriksson and a foul by Shaw, and a yellow card for Luke Shaw, the latest player to enter Paul Tierney's notebook. 3 United men now yellow carded. While we've got the stoppage, we can get the team news ahead of the West Ham Manchester City 4:30 kickoff from Conor McNamara.
Yes, and the West Ham new signing striker Scamacca is only on the bench. Gianluca Scamacca. The West Ham team, Fabianski in goal, Sofal, Johnson, Zuma and Cresswell, Souček and Rice in the midfield. Very familiar look to the attack. Bowen, Lanzini and Fornals behind Mikel Antonio. The champions begin their defence with Edison in goal, Walker, Diaz, Ake and Cancelo at the back, Rodri and Gundogan in midfield, Kevin De Bruyne, Grealish and Foden behind Erling Haaland.
Thank you, Connor. Be listening to Connor and Clinton Morrison from the London Stadium later. Brighton are going to make a double substitution. I think Graham Potter had to do something. Mwepu and Lamptey are coming on, but United into the box. McTominay with a cross, but the defender went to ground. It was Lewis Dunk who blocked it, and they were able to clear it out for a throw down the right-hand side. Throw-in. United looking to take this, but the changes are going to be made. So while those changes are made by Brighton, where's the latest gold gone in the boxing at the Commonwealth Games, Jonathan Overend?
Well, it's gone to Scotland, which is a hat-trick of gold medals in the ring here at the NEC today. Reece Lynch in the light welterweight division. Superb performance to cap an excellent tournament from him. Survived a late fight back from his opponent from Mauritius to win a split decision. Reece Lynch, gold for Scotland.
So Brighton are making these changes. Trossard is coming off, and so is Adam Lallana as well. So Enoch Mwepu is coming onto the field, and so is Tariq Lamptey. So Trossard and Lallana are the two to come off. So Manchester United are going to make a change as well. Van de Beek is going to come on next time they get a chance. So 2-1 Brighton lead here at Old Trafford. And is that still the same scoreline in Leicester, Pat Murphy?
It is, John, but it was nearly 2-2 because Tony missed a chance at the far post. A lovely in-swinging shot centre and he just glanced it wide. At the other end, Fofana, who's been excellent, he headed against the inside of the Brentford post. Feels like there's more goals in this game, John. Leicester 2, Brentford 1.
Yes, I think we might say the same thing here, Dion.
Absolutely.
Do you think?
Definitely.
And I think Brighton as well. Remember that penalty shout that they had for Welbeck when they were 2-0 up? That was very quickly dismissed. 2-1 it is now. Martinez is going to have a shot from 25 to 30 yards out that flies by maybe 7 or 8 feet over the top of the crossbar. It wasn't too far away. There've been 1 or 2 nervy moments for Robert Sanchez, the Brighton goalkeeper, in the second half.
Yeah, he can obviously strike a ball. Martinez, I think Van der Beek here was just being told to get yourself a drink and I'll make the change in a minute. I think it'll be Ericsson that he'll come on for, to be honest with you, but a bit more pace in Man United's game, which has got them back in it.
Van der Beek, obviously a player that Erik ten Hag knows very well. Clearly wants to bring Frankie de Jong here, and that's so obvious. It's a question of whether Frankie de Jong wants to leave Barcelona, which I would say he clearly doesn't. In the Super League, Leeds 18, Salford 8, and Wakefield 4, Catalan 12, the latest scores. Manchester United 1, Brighton 2. Van der Beek just getting his instructions from the shaven-headed manager of Manchester United, or head coach, I think might be his official title. He's got a little bit of ankle showing there as well, I noticed. Ten Hag, as he stretches his legs up the slope. It's actually McTominay who's coming off, so both McTominay and Fred are off in this second half. Van der Beek is on.
That surprised me actually, because Scott McTominay, even though he hasn't had a great game, his energy levels are very, very high, and he seems to be getting around the pitch quite easily. Interesting one, that.
Donny van der Beek, who was at Everton on loan for the second half of last season, so this is his first Manchester United appearance for the first time since January. 2-1 Brighton lead. 5 Live BBC Sounds. Ball out of play, throwing to Brighton on the left-hand side. Brighton have been up against it, but the thing is that they've got a little bit of everything, Brighton.
Yeah, they have.
With Duncan Webster at the back, Veltman as well.
I mean, Man United have had most of the ball, but Brighton is still up by a goal. Man United have still got to do more.
Manchester United hitting the ball away downfield. Eriksen still on the field. Long pass from him, headed away, and then Fernandes is caught there as just at the moment that Alexis McAllister arrived. I don't think he knew a great deal about that. It was just a collision between the two of them. It will be a free kick, but I think they'll have a look at Bruno Fernandes, who might have just been caught. I wasn't sure whether it was his shoulder or the side of his head that was caught, but he stayed down. They're just having a look at him. There's no call yet for the medical people. Fernandes is not happy about the way that he was caught by McAllister. Did he know more about that?
You know what? I think it was one of those where McAllister committed to it, and I think it was his shoulder. His shoulder came through and caught Bruno on the chin, sort of twisted his neck very quickly, and when that happens, the legs are the first thing to go. Trust me on that.
I don't remember you going down like that too often, Dion. Manchester United 1, Brighton 2. And United go back all the way to the halfway line. Commentary on West Ham Manchester City to come, so you will hear Erling Haaland's debut. He's starting the match for Manchester City. That will be live on 5 Live from 4:30, so don't miss that. But this match, you cannot take your eyes off this, as Eriksen plays it forward. Van der Beek back now to Fernandes. This is all central. This is nice between the three of them. Van der Beek and then Sancho into the penalty area. Ronaldo can't reach that, as it was played through by Sancho through the inside right position, low along the carpet of Old Trafford, but beyond the 37-year-old legs of Ronaldo. Goal kick.
It's all good. It's good, better from Eriksen. Van der Beek's come on, and he's had some really nice touches for the few seconds he's been on, made a little bit of a difference, looks a bit of a spark. The last ball into Ronaldo was a bit overhit from Sancho. They're the kind of things they have to tidy up, but United have been good over the last 10-15 minutes, but they're still down. They still need another goal.
Goal kick for Brighton. Sanchez takes this up into the Manchester sky, lands at the feet of Welbeck. Welbeck wanted it back from Tariq Lamptey, who of course has taken up a position on the right side of the Brighton defence. Veltman has come up to take this throw. Joel Veltman just gets the ball and wipes it on his blue and white striped shirt. Veltman takes the throw, that's headed away by Eriksson on the edge of his own penalty area. He started out as the striker, Eriksson, and he's ended up in the Fred position. Ball played over the top to Gross, who heads it down, but then in the nick of time Martinez got there just before Welbeck. Well played, Gross.
Yeah, I mean, Welbeck was half a second away from that one. Should have been anticipating that. Welbeck has had an outstanding game today, I've got to say.
They come again. Brighton. Caicedo turning and passing the ball forward. He also has caught the eye. I mean, there have been performances all over the field that have caught the eye for Brighton. It's needed a little bit of everything, this Brighton performance. They were excellent in the first half, much the better team against Manchester United, Brighton. But in the second half, they've had to dig in. And here's Lamptey now bringing it forward. His cross though is over everyone and bounces out to the far side. There's no one there, and Dalot actually has to go across and stop the ball from going out of play. We're into the last 10 minutes now here. Manchester United 1, Brighton 2. Pascal Gross scoring both Brighton goals in the first half. That is now 6 Premier League goals that he scored in his career against Manchester United. And Brighton, by the second, are inching closer to what would be their first win here at Old Trafford. And United have lost possession. And Caicedo now bringing it forward on the left-hand side. Plays it centrally. McAllister is onto this. Caicedo works it back. Now to the left-hand side. Mwepu involved in this as well. Enoch Mwepu, the substitute, the Zambian international, with the blue boots on. Here he is with the ball at his feet. Back to Caicedo. Mwepu makes himself available again and takes it on and gives it square. And a shot comes in from McAllister that dips away wide to the right of the goal. De Gea moving to his left, but it was wide.
It's good play, you know, from Brighton. Really good, patient play. Triangles, moving it quickly. Every time they pass the ball to a teammate, they got themselves into another position to receive the ball. Mwepu's been outstanding since he's been on. Big, strong, imposing. United have got to go again. They've got to move the ball quicker.
Time running out. 7 minutes to play, plus added time. Brighton still just with their noses in front. As the ball is flicked over the top for Jadon Sancho. Sancho into the penalty area, beats one man, but can't beat Webster. And Webster was able to take the ball off him and pass it away coolly. And Brighton then lose possession. Mwepu couldn't take that ball in his stride. Bruno Fernandes overhits the ball through for Sancho. And Sanchez is able to pick it up with Rashford racing in to make him do that.
Yeah, Sancho does the right thing. He gets past one player, then he tries to get past two. That's when you've got to get your head up and try and find a teammate. Trouble is, he hasn't got any teammates to find because they're not getting into positions where they can find the ball, especially in the final third.
Ronaldo not had the chance yet.
That's the word.
Yes.
That's the word.
Yeah, you would think that a chance would come his way at some stage, wouldn't you? It normally does. Very often does in added time, Dion. I don't know whether you've noticed that. Brighton 2-1 up. Martinez plays the ball for Manchester United out towards the far side. Here's Jadon Sancho, but he loses out in the challenge, and it is Danny Welbeck who receives the ball in the middle of the Manchester United half, turns and gives it to Lamptey to his right, and Lamptey into the box. Lamptey with the ball at his feet, up against Shaw, tries to shoot. As he did so, it was blocked by Fernandes, and then Lamptey in his over-enthusiasm pulls back Fernandes, and that's a free kick to Manchester United. Just over 5 minutes to play. Might be another change for Manchester United. Might be. In fact, I think there is going to be. But United with Fernandes, Bruno Fernandes inside his own half. Manchester United striving for an equaliser. Meanwhile in Leicester, Pat Murphy.
Equaliser for Brentford. It comes from Josh Da Silva on the substitute. A poor goal to concede. A great one to watch though. Nobody tracking him. Left foot, edge of the box. 2-2, Leicester Brentford.
See it on Match of the Day 2 tonight with Mark Chapman. And there will be some unease, I would think, at Leicester after that. Brentford coming from 2-0 down. It's on Sports Extra if you want to listen to that, the closing stages. But don't miss the closing stages here at Old Trafford with us, as Shaw plays it into the edge of the penalty area. Ronaldo tried to turn it off to his left, to Rashford, but that was blocked. Van der Beek now, the blonde Van der Beek, up towards the edge of the penalty area. Blue and white stripes, ranked one after the other on the edge of the box. Ronaldo square, shot from Eriksson, that's deflected into the penalty area. It's headed out, comes to Maguire. Maguire, who's stationed himself halfway inside the Brighton half. Now Sancho on the right flank. Sancho's ball in. Sanchez, the goalkeeper's able to claw it down and gather it as it bounces up.
Just as he clawed that down.
Oh, Sanchez, long ball downfield, looking for Welbeck. De Gea's come out of his penalty area though, and was able to get to the ball first. Sorry,
just as he clawed it down, he was heading towards a far post and Ronaldo was waiting. Not this time.
Bruno Fernandes, he flights one forward. Van der Beek, that's a nice cushioned header, glancing header to the right hand side. Sancho infield, Ronaldo with a shot, but Webster was right there in front of him, and Webster, the big number 4, blocked it away and wide. It's corner to Manchester United.
It's better from United, and they're gonna, I think the troops are on the way in.
Yes, they are.
The
Triple
troops
change
are on the way in.
Triple change coming up. Elanga is coming on. So is young Garnacho as well. The young Argentine. As United take this latest corner, Martinez comes back to him. Martinez with a shot. That's blocked by Dunk. Dunk threw himself in front of the ball. There are shouts for handball, and referee Tierney is not interested in the slightest. He sort of landed on it, Dunk.
Yeah, he just does what he does well. Dunk puts his body on the line. I don't think it was a handball from a view that I've seen so far. I don't think it is, because he seems to be holding a more delicate part of his body.
I'm with you. And Tyrell Malacia is going to come on for his debut as well, another of the summer signings. The first signing, actually, the former Feyenoord left back. So triple change from Erik ten Hag coming shortly. A triple change that he hopes will help to try and get something out of this first match. At the moment, Ten Hag is facing defeat here in his first Premier League match as the Manchester United manager. Of his recent predecessors, only the other Dutchman, Louis van Gaal, has suffered that. Ball played in again from Eriksson. It bounces to Rashford, chested down in the box. Rashford though has to play it back under pressure to Shaw. Now Sancho, Jadon Sancho, left side of the area, his ball across. Rashford got his head to it, couldn't send it goalwards. Follow-up header is cleared away, and then Bruno Fernandes tries to, well, he did nutmeg Mwepu, but there was cover there behind him, and Brighton were able to clear it downfield. 2 minutes to go of the 90 plus added time. Triple substitution that Manchester United are going to make will eat up a lot of that time, actually. That's the problem with the 5 substitutes. If you make 3 at a time, it doesn't half take a while to get them all onto the field. And I think, do you know what, Dion? I think you've got to find something better than the 4th official's electronic board.
I agree.
I think that holds the whole thing up. I think that's got to be rethought.
It's a good half a minute, isn't it?
Yeah.
Getting the numbers up.
Yeah. Manchester United 1, Brighton 2. It's now Leicester 2, Brentford 2, as we heard from Pat. Ball bounces for Mwepu, and Mwepu for Brighton is approaching the Manchester United penalty area, but that's a very good tackle by Maguire to dispossess him and snuff out that danger. And Brighton are going to make a change as well, so we're going to have 4 substitutes coming on next time there's a break in play, which is now. It's young Levi Colwill who's going to come on for his Brighton and Hove Albion debut. The ball is off the field now. Are we going to see the change now? I mean, it is a throw-in to Manchester United, and we are. So Sancho is off. So Elanga coming on to replace Jadon Sancho. So that is the first of the 4. Fernandes is making way. So Garnacho, very popular around here, the youngster. For his early days, what he did last season, young player of the year for Manchester United, the young Argentine under-20 international. So he is on to the field. And a straight swap for a debut, Manchester United debut for the £47 million. I beg your pardon, it's not quite that much. The £13 million left back Tyrell Malacia from Feyenoord is on to replace him. And Brighton making their change, which will see Solly March leave the field. And the defender, the left-sided defender, Levi Colwell, the England under-21 international, part of the Cucurella deal at the end of last week. I guess probably at the start of last week he didn't expect himself to be at Brighton, you would think, but here he is at Old Trafford playing for Brighton in a match that could make history for his new club. Levi Colwell, of whom great things are forecast, on loan at Huddersfield last season, you might remember, when he did very well in their promotion push. Brighton leading 2-1, and we are well into added time now, and it all depends on how much has been added on. Lamptey with the ball on the right hand side, and Welbeck knocks it infield. There's a flick. Brighton have got the ball deep inside Manchester United territory. That's exactly where they want it. Lamptey could have taken that to the corner flag. He didn't. He was positive and he was tripped, and it is a free kick to Brighton in the full-back area, and 5 minutes have been added on. 5 minutes of added time. We've already had over a minute of them. If Brighton have got any sense here, Dion, they've got a free kick in the full-back position.
Do they know any other way?
This
put
has
it in
got
the
to
box
go.
and try to score another
like the
one?
Lionesses last Sunday afternoon.
Exactly. They got it absolutely spot on.
Didn't they just?
Absolutely spot on.
That was one of the great pieces of taking the ball to the corner flag that I think I've ever seen.
Managing a game of football.
Yeah, but they're not. Brighton are going. I don't know whether they regret this. Gross is going to chip this in.
They pull back.
Possibly to Lamptey. Gross drives it in low, and it's cleared back to the free kick taker, Gross to Lamptey. Lamptey could take it to the corner flag. He doesn't. He slips it between the two United players, and I think Gross now finally, this is sense, is taking it towards that corner flag with all of the Brighton fans up there in the stand above that corner flag. The ball's out of play. It came off Gross, says the assistant there. It's a goal kick to Manchester United. We've got less than 3 minutes of added time to play. Still Manchester United 1, Brighton 2. On Sports Extra, Leicester 2, Brentford 2. From 4:30, Erling Haaland starts for Manchester City. You'll hear that West Ham, Manchester City, West Ham commentary. And the full-time whistle has gone at Leicester. It has finished 2-2. It has finished 2-2, a point apiece. Brentford coming from 2-0 down. Brighton are trying to win at Old Trafford for the first time in their history. 2-0 up at half-time. Manchester United much improved in the second half, which isn't saying much really, considering the disappointment of the first half with the false nine. But the arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't been able to lift them to their target just yet, and there are spectators leaving now Old Trafford. We've had over 3 minutes of added time. Erik ten Hag facing defeat in his first Premier League match as the manager here at Old Trafford as well, against Brighton, who are looking to beat Manchester United for the first time in the space of just a few weeks. Lamptey takes this throw either side of the close season. Gross tried to take it to the corner flag, managed to get the touch from Malacia out of play. It's a throw in to Brighton again. Time being eaten up by this. They are keeping the ball near that corner flag. Lamptey and Gross together. 2-goal Gross in this match, and he deflected it out of play. It's a goal kick. 1 minute to go. 1 minute for Manchester United to produce the goal that would rescue a point in Erik ten Hag's first Premier League match. Long downfield from De Gea, headed away by Brighton. Martinez plays it over the top, stretching header from Elanga, but it was headed away. The offside flag was up against Elanga as well. Free kick to Brighton, and a few of those Brighton players are out on their feet, you know, Dion.
And the United players as well, but you know, the way that Graham Potter's, you know, sets his side up today, I mean, 70% of this game's been all Brighton. Man United have had that little bit of a spurt. They got their goal back, but since then Brighton have managed it well. Man of the match for me is coming off. Man of the match is now leaving the pitch. Been outstanding.
Danny Welbeck back in Manchester, his hometown. He wasn't on the score sheet, but he's been heavily involved, particularly in the first half, but also in the second. As we say, might have had a case for a penalty when Brighton were 2-0 up.
Centre forward's performance, outstanding, Danny Welbeck, well done.
And he's replaced by the German forward, Dennis Undav, who was off last season at his old club, Union Saint-Gilloise, who have been involved against Rangers, of course, in the Champions League this week. So Undav is on for his Brighton debut, just to see the clock down. And I make it, that's it. I make it the 5 minutes of added time are up. It depends how much is being added on for all of those substitutions. Brighton have to defend this ball downfield, but they do. It's whacked into the stands by Veltman, and that is the final touch of the match. Brighton cheers inside Old Trafford. Brighton Hove Albion supporters can celebrate a victory at Old Trafford against Manchester United for the very first time, and that means it's a losing start in the Premier League in his first match in charge for the new manager of Manchester United, Erik ten Hag. He said this would be a new season and a new story. Well, that's a nightmare start for him, losing like this at Old Trafford, and particularly in the manner of the way that his team played in the first half. He goes out onto the pitch, there are handshakes there, and he walks away all alone to consider an opening day defeat for him in the Premier League. There is applause for him there from the Stretford end, and he waves back to them, thanks them for their support. But one game played, no points for Erik ten Hag's Manchester United in the Premier League. It's finished. Manchester United 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Dion.
I just believe that Brighton were better. First half was outstanding. Like I say, for 70% of the game, Brighton have deserved it. They were brilliant. Man United came into it, got their goal, but it's the way they were set up. The senior pros, Gross and Trossard and Welbeck and Veltman and Dunk, they were all sturdy performances, all 8 out of 10 today. Man United didn't deserve anything from this performance today. Brighton fully deserved full 3 points.
Yeah, scored their 2 goals when they were on top in the first half. Pascal Gross with them both. Lovely goals both as well, well worked. And although there was that scrappy goal back for Manchester United from Alexis McAllister, Cristiano Ronaldo, who came on as a second half substitute, wasn't able to make the impact. And now Brighton's players are going across to the supporters to join in with those celebrations. This, the 15th time that Brighton have played in all competitions against Manchester United here at Old Trafford, and the first time they've beaten them. Manchester United 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, and Steve Crossman's here at Old Trafford with us. And we've witnessed it together, Steve.
Absolutely, and these Brighton fans are now witnessing their players applaud them and clap their hands in unison. They have been together for every single moment of this game this afternoon. The manager, Graham Potter, in his dark blue suit, has just gone over to hug a couple of the players as well, and he now takes the acclaim all on his own of the Brighton fans. Listen to this and watch. On Match of the Day later, you will see a brilliant Brighton performance and a big punch of the air for Graham Potter. And we said before the game, as he goes back now,
they want another one. And another punch of the air, Steve, from him. And he actually brought it on as well, didn't he? With his hands. He said,
He's enjoyed it.
Listen, we don't see him. He's quite undemonstrative, isn't he? He's quite level. But he has got the broadest smile I've ever seen on his face.
And they're asking for another.
They want another, and he's dummied. He's dummied that he was going to do it, but he's not. He's just backing away and clapping his hands.
I think that's where Brighton are as a football club. Their relationship is incredible. Win, lose or draw, they seem to respect their fans, travelling fans, home fans. The manager seems to have his players on side. There's a good vibe at Brighton. By the way they performed today, there's a very good vibe and a very good team.
Great place to go to watch football, Brighton.
Yeah.
You know, they do, so much right. I think they've got a great people at the top of the club. Paul Barber, the chief executive, he talks a lot of sense, doesn't he? Whenever you hear him, you feel